So this is the KhoodeelaarTV television channel broadcasting under the banner of the Baby Angel Geronimo editions on Thursday, the 3rd of August 2023. This is part A of the KhoodeelaarTV television channel being broadcast on the internet under the banner of the Baby Angel Geronimo. Baby Angel Geronimo is the world's bestest baby angel Geronimo. The most innocent, the most healthy, and the most truthful, just, fair, and compassionate witness to the behavior of the depraved evilness personified in the incumbents in the posts in the United Kingdom, various state posts and positions. Now, the worst incumbent in the post of Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in the last decade has been Boris Johnson, whom Donald Trump, the evilness personified in the USA, praised beyond endurance. And he did that by breaking all the known civil protocols. For example, when he was paying a state visit to the United Kingdom while he was still in that post. And the UK incumbent Prime Minister was Theresa May. Donald Trump stood next to Theresa May as he brazenly, discourteously, offensively insulted her in a series of remarks he made, openly, untruthfully, obscenely praising for the United Kingdom. Johnson was, of course, not incumbent as Prime Minister at that time, but that's Donald Trump did. So it follows that Donald Trump would be somebody that Boris Johnson would sympathize with in the plight that Trump finds himself in, rightly finds himself in. For example, let's see what the latest news running order says about Trump. The Times newspaper, who's got a cartoonist called Peter Brooks, has got a cartoon that is effectively in line with the majority of the cartoons about Trump's latest adventure, showing that he is behind bars in the White House is drawn in a way that makes it looks like it's a prison with bars, and behind bars is Donald Trump. And the Independent newspaper online 27 minutes ago said in the post, Donald Trump indicted for conspiracy to defraud the United States in January 6 investigation. And Sky News, which posted 32 minutes ago, says Donald Trump to appear in court to face charges over January the 6th Capitol riots. And the appearance is considered reported to be due today. Donald Trump, security ramped up ahead of court appearance. That is the BBC. That was 47 minutes ago. And it's by Max Matza and Sarah Smith. BBC News. Former US President Donald Trump will be formally charged at a court hearing on Thursday, that is today, on charges of plotting to overturn his 2020 election defeat. On the eve of the arraignment, Trump slammed the case as proof of the corruption scandal. No, I'll read that again. On being arraigned, on the eve of the arraignment, he slammed the case as proof of the corruption scandal and failure of the United States under Joe Biden's presidency. Well, that is nothing to do with Joe Biden's presidency at all. That is bureaucracy in the judiciary. Mr. Trump already faces two other criminal cases as he campaigns for the White House next year. Security is being ramped up in Washington, D.C. Needs to be read out in full. Security is being ramped up in Washington, District of Columbia for Thursday's hearing. Metal barriers have been put up outside the federal courthouse where the charges against Mr. Trump will be formally read. The Secret Service, which provides protection to presidents and ex-presidents, released a statement warning the public of short-term traffic implications in central Washington District, Columbia. On Wednesday, an apparent hoax 911 call about an active shooting at the Capitol triggered a lockdown in 3 Senate office buildings and a major police emergency response. Speaking to reporters during the alert, U.S. Capitol Police Chief Tom Manga said that the police force that battled rioters 2.5 years ago was well trained and prepared for active shooter drills. Protection for judges involved in the case has also reportedly been increased. That includes District Judge Tanya Chutkan, who told an attorney in an unrelated case that she had not slept since being assigned to Mr. Trump's case. To which the lawyer replied, Please be safe. I'll try, Miss Chutkan said before an open court, later joking that she wanted to keep her calendar open in case I can get out of town. which is increasingly looking like a good idea. Mr. Trump, 77, is due to appear at the federal courthouse in Washington, D.C. on Thursday at 1600 hours Eastern District Time. Eastern, what is the EDT? Which is 20 hours GMT. He is expected to plead not guilty, although he has the option of appearing remotely by a video feed. It is understood he will attend in person. Mr. Trump has visited the city only once since leaving the White House. A queue was already forming on Wednesday outside the building. In an all capital letters post on his Truth Social platform on Wednesday, the former president, who was at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club, thanked his followers and said, "I never had so much support on anything before." In other posts, he attacked rival Republican presidential hopefuls, including his former Vice President Mike Pence and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The charge was key to 1967 trial of Ku Klux Klan members that inspired the 1988 film Mississippi Burning. Legal analysts say it has been included in the case against Mr. Trump because his political, I'll read that a bit further. According to the indictment, Mr. Trump faces 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, tampering with a witness, and conspiracy against the rights of citizens. The Deprivation of Rights Statute was enacted in the aftermath of the United States Civil War to provide legal protections for freed slaves as they integrated into society. The charge was key to a 1967 Ku Klux Klan trial of Ku Klux Klan members that inspired the 1988 film Mississippi Burning. Legal analysts say it has been included in the case against Mr. Trump because his alleged efforts to subvert the vote targeted urban areas with large populations of African American voters. Mr. Trump's lawyers have hinted at their defense strategy. Attorney John Lauro appeared on NBC's Today Show on Wednesday and said he planned to argue that Mr. Trump was protected by the right to free speech enshrined in the First Amendment of the 19 of the US Constitution. The indictment is criminalizing speech, Mr. Lauro said. A spokesman for the U.S. Marshals Service, a federal law enforcement agency that guards courts, told Reuters news agency that Mr. Trump would be fingerprinted and asked to provide basic information such as his date of birth and social security ID number. Several other suspects accused of involvement in the US Capitol riot have had hearings that were scheduled for Thursday postponed. Mr. Trump is currently the clear frontrunner in the Republican Party's contrast. I read that again. Mr. Trump is currently the clear frontrunner in the Republican Party's contest to pick up its next presidential candidate. Congressional Republicans have been rallying around him, arguing that the latest indictment shows the United States has become a banana republic, echoing the former president's claim that they provide the prosecutions I'll read that again. The congressional Republicans have been rallying around him, arguing that the latest indictment shows the US has become a banana republic and echoing the former president's claim that the prosecutions amount to election interference. Mr. Pence, who has been struggling to gain traction in the 2024 White House race, maintained on Wednesday during a campaign stop at the Indiana State Fair that he had done his duty on January 6, 2021. Sadly, the president was surrounded by a group of crackpot lawyers that kept telling him what his itching ears wanted to hear. The president ultimately continued to demand that I choose him over the Constitution. The 45-page election related indictment against Mr. Trump is based partly on contemporaneous notes that Mr. Pence kept of their conversations in the days leading up to the US Capitol. Mr. Trump has already been charged in two other cases with mishandling classified files and falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to a porn star. Prosecutors in Georgia may bring a criminal case against Mr. Trump this month over alleged efforts to subvert the 2020 election result in that state. Well, they're all already kind of highly contextually updated. We shall be updating on all of the other items. This is the very short introduction. So we shall end this one at 20 minutes at 07:45 GMT on Thursday, the 3rd of August 2023.